We were in the car one day. I don't remember if you were born yet. I was with mom and dad. A lot of my memories of childhood do not include you.
Only the good ones.
But I remember we were in Leroy asking them to get me this toy plastic World War II bomber airplane. I just thought it was the coolest thing. And they said yes. And I remember thinking, this is it. I've made it. Just wanted this toy. Everything's going to be great from here on out. And the excitement over getting that toy. And
food
that
tastes
thing.
better after you had that plane?
Everything. The sky was brighter. Food tasted better. I felt taller.
Jokes were funnier?
Everything. Jokes were funnier. Yeah, I was better looking.
You felt
even.
taller.
So this is Wade into Wealth. I'm Chuck Wade. My brother Ethan is here as well, coming to you from Rochester, New York, where we're both financial advisors and senior vice presidents and partners at Brighton Securities. And we're talking today about experiences over things, and it was a topic you brought up in that it's becoming a thing that people are starting to choose, whether it's because of necessity or for other reasons, experiences over things. And in that moment, I just wanted that airplane, but all it was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun for a little while, but it wasn't necessarily life-changing. So
Right.
that's what we're going to talk about today.
And about how people's spending habits are changing.
Fire away.
Well, 2.5 years ago, and the biggest thing is that companies like Target and Walmart and Best Buy, you may have seen on the news, they are all stuck with significant excess inventory right now.
Too much stuff.
They have too much stuff in their shelves and their warehouses because they stocked up on things that consumers were buying, thinking they would just continue to buy them.
Right.
And now some of their habits have changed. And I remember, because now in our neighborhood, there's like 4 or 5 people getting pools put in. You can see it's all happening at the same time. Everything's getting dug.
Yes.
And some of that was probably purchases that were, well, not purchases, but folks who had been put on a wait list a year and a half ago in the depths of the pandemic when everybody was staying home. You weren't traveling. And you looked in your backyard and thought, well, it'd be really nice to go outside and just have that stuff right there.
Yep.
And from a consumer standpoint, you bought a lot of things because you couldn't take trips. You weren't going on vacations.
Couldn't really do much of anything. But
Whether you bought a patio set,
right,
a pool. I mean, the pool's a little different than a patio
yeah,
set.
but you realized in a lot of cases the limits of your home. If you had a house, you realized it became very clear, well, this is something that the house doesn't have that we wish it had, whether that was space or if that was a playroom or if that was more storage or if that was something for people to do to occupy themselves. And if you have young kids, you think of a pool, or even I remember all sorts of things that we bought to try to occupy and help the girls have things to do. And we're not using all of that right now. Some of it we do. We bought a movie projector so we could watch movies in the backyard. Now that we still use, but there's other things, a lot of things.
But you're also not buying another one.
No.
Right now.
No, I'm not. And you know, we have shifted. I absolutely believe this. And I'm in favor.
Well, everybody has. We can see that.
Yeah.
Companies can see that.
But the other reason is that there's inflation right now. Everything is more expensive. And
right.
So there's been a couple of shifts. One has been that people have shifted away from things that may be a want to things that are a need. In some cases, that money has to go towards rent, food or utility bills, gas.
And you have less of what we call discretionary money, which is discretionary money is money left over after you've covered all of the necessary expenses, food, rent, gas, your car payments, your utility bills, kind of maybe you might refer to it as your fun money.
Yeah.
The stuff you use to go do activities you want to do. Yeah. But when that discretionary money starts to shrink because now it costs you $100 to fill up your car or your SUV, you have less of it.
Yeah. What's ironic is, though, with the higher cost of oil, which has been the culprit of a lot of the inflation that we've seen, you can look at it and say one of the most glaring things is that gas went from $2.50 a gallon to almost $5 a gallon. It doubled. If you were filling your car up for $45, now you're filling your car up for $90.
Yeah.
And that's a big difference. But the travel demand has skyrocketed.
Right.
So much of that is due to the fact that
For now,
everything's a cycle.
Yeah.
Everything is cyclical in life. But for now, travel demand is through the roof. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that we couldn't do it for so long.
And why does that stick out? Because normally when you see energy prices go up like they have, you see travel demand fall off because airline tickets are more expensive. Just driving is double the price that it normally would have been. We're not seeing that right now.
No, you're seeing, even with travel, you're seeing, I think I saw like 1 out of 6 flights out of, I think, LaGuardia this past weekend was canceled.
Yes.
So you're seeing travel. There's more risk to travel.
Oh, yeah.
In that you may not make it if you're flying because your flight may be canceled because they don't have pilots, they don't have crews. Yet everyone's going somewhere.
But we didn't do it.
It seems.
You had people effectively took 2 years off of travel and spent money on things. And now, because you only buy so many patio sets, you only buy so many movie projectors, you only buy so many pools, you only put in so many toy rooms, that now that we're past kind of that rush of spending on things, there's now the desire to spend it on experiences.
And I'm in favor of it. I think it's a great thing because things are just that. They're things. You get them. They don't necessarily create happiness, though. Something that you may have, if you get a toy, that doesn't necessarily bring more joy into your life. It may make things a little more fun. It may be fun to, have a new thing to show off or use. But I think experiences are what really matters, especially if you're able to do that with people that you care about, people that are important to you. Sharing those experiences, I think, roots itself a lot deeper inside of us and can be more fulfilling over the course of our lives.
I agree. I have no reason to disagree with that. But like I said, everything's cyclical.
It sure is.
We'll see travel, and if energy prices remain high like they are, eventually we're going to see that demand for travel start to curtail. We're going to see people sticking closer to home at some point. It's just not there yet because of the lack of any travel anybody's done over the past couple of years.
Yeah.
And what's the impact to you? Well, you're going to see a lot more sales at your Walmarts, at your Targets, at your Best Buys, because they need to move this inventory that they're stuck with. I even saw an article online that said that these stores are considering paying you to not return items to them. Because, think about it. If you return an item to them, you're only making this problem worse.
Right.
So they are considering giving you your money back and letting you keep that item.
Because they don't want to pay for you to ship it back.
Well, they don't want to pay for you to ship it back, then have to store it. Then they would either mark it down and it's going to take up more shelf space, or they're going to sell it to another discount retailer. Think of a TJ Maxx, a Home Goods, and there's more costs involved for them where they already have that issue right now. Brenna mentioned to me there was this patio set on sale for like 75% off at Target the other day, and I thought, well, that's kind of odd. It's June. Normally, you see those things go on sale in like October, before you're getting to winter.
Right.
That tells you the excess inventory that these companies have when they're marking it down that much before you're in the thick of that main season for it.
So it may not be a time, if there's something very specific that you have been looking for or wanting, and this is where I think, all right, well, where's the value in this? There's always opportunities.
Yep.
We have to be willing sometimes to change our mindset and be open and look for where the opportunity is. Let's say there is a specific item you are in the market for. Well, now might be the time to go looking for it because the odds are you may be able to get it for less. You may be able to find a deal.
If they decide to pay you to not return things, buy it and then tell them you're going to return it. How about that? That's as I was explaining that, I thought that sounds like something ripe for issues and problems down the road. But they already have their own.
Don't take that as advice.
And that doesn't mean that Walmart and Target and these businesses are going to go out. It just means that
No.
they're going to have they've got some issues to contend with right now. They'll end up being okay. They're just going to have to eat the cost and really discount these items to free up some of the shelf space.
And that won't be an across-the-board thing. Yeah. That would be item-specific. And there are things I have bought before, and it hasn't, there's been an issue, and you call the company, like, just keep it. We'll send you a new one. Yeah. You don't have to return it to us. And so I think it would be more item-specific. But I think the point here, a couple of things you can take away. Look for opportunities. If there is something you have a purchase of an item or good and you were looking to acquire it and maybe it was too much, take another look. You might find something on sale. I think the other takeaway is, and this is just a personal observation, I think experiences can be a lot more fulfilling than things. There were a couple of years we couldn't do experiences. You couldn't really go anywhere or do anything, so we replaced that with things. Now, the world's opened up a bit again. Go out and have experiences. Shared experiences are how we bond, and I think those are the most fulfilling things that we can do as people as well.
Right on, Brother Charlie.
Right on. Oh, I hate that name. Hate that name. I'm not going to call you Ian because I know how much you don't like that name. So I will refrain from referring to you as Ian.
Okay.
Which I know that you don't like the name Ian. So
that's right. Look for opportunities. Don't be afraid to jump on them if it's something that you've been thinking about.
Yeah, there's always opportunities. We'll be back again soon. Thanks for spending this time with us. We do appreciate your company on this journey to financial wellness. This is Wade into Wealth.